Hi everyone, I'm Nick Olivo, and today we're going to see how to set up a werewolf attack in Roll20. And when all is said and done, we're going to be able to shift all of our tokens from humanoid form to werewolf form, apply a special effect, and play a really cool wolf sound. Let's see how it's going to look. And there we go, all that with just the click of a button. Now, we will be using mods in order to do this, so you will need a pro account in order to do what I'm about to show you. Before we dive in, I'd just like to thank Roll20 for sponsoring this video. Now there are 4 mods we're going to need to set these up. The first is Token Mod, which comes to us from the arcane scriptomancer himself, the Aaron, and Token Mod is what's going to allow us to flip the werewolf tokens from humanoid form into werewolf form. We're also going to use the Simple Sound script, which comes to us from Ben F, and that's what's going to actually play the wolf sound. The third script we'll need is actually one of mine called multiTokenFx, and I'll put a link down in the video description to my GitHub where you can pull that, but this is what's going to allow us to have multiple special effects being applied to multiple tokens at once. And then the final mod we're going to use is Select Manager, which comes to us from Timaw and the Aaron, and that's what's going to allow us to easily select all of the wolf tokens to not only flip their tokens, but to also apply the special effect to. So once you've got all of these mods installed, we're ready to begin. With all the scripts installed, the next thing we have to do is make sure we have a multi-sided token set up for our werewolf monster. So what I've done is in the collections tab here in my game, I created a rollable table called werewolf icon. And you can see I've just got the 3 images here. There's the initial one from the monster manual, and then there are 2 others that I've added. And so essentially each one of these multi-sided tokens has 3 sides. There's the wolf side, there's the humanoid woman side, and the humanoid man side. And then once you've got that created, all you need to do is click the token button here. That'll put the icon out on the board. Double click on it, set it to represent the werewolf. And then what I did was I updated the default token so that this became the default token for that werewolf monster. And now whenever I drag out a new werewolf, it'll have that multi-sided token. I'm just going to delete this guy. Okay, so now we've got all of our prerequisite setup done. Let's swing over our trusty Notepad++ window here, and let's write the code for this. So the first thing we want to do is switch the tokens from their humanoid forms to their wolf forms. And for that, we're going to use a token mod command that looks like this. So what we're saying here is we're calling token mod, and we're setting the current side of the token to 1. So we're setting it to the first image in the sequence, which is the wolf. And the way that we're selecting which tokens we're doing this to is with this select command here. This is the select manager mod that we were looking at earlier. And what this does is allows you to specify which tokens we're going to work with based on their name. So I'm saying select all of the werewolf tokens. And you'll notice I've got an asterisk here. That means we're going to select every werewolf token on the board. If we didn't have that asterisk, if it just did this, then we would select the first werewolf that we found. We don't want to do that. We want all of them. So that's why we have the asterisk here. So we're saying select all the werewolves on the board and set their current side to 1. That's going to make them all wolves. Now what we want to do is trigger the special effect. We want each one of them to have that kind of puff of smoke as they are transforming. And so for that, we're going to use the multiTokenFx command. And what we're saying here is multiTokenFx burst, so it's that puff, and then smoke, which is that gray effect here. If you want to see more available colors and patterns, go up to the effects button right here. And so this first drop down, beam, bomb, breath, whatever, this is the first parameter that you see. And then acid, blood, etc., that is the second parameter. So you can swap any of these out if you want to experiment. I personally like the burst and nova effects. And then smoke works really good for a lycanthrope, but we could also do this with the death effect, which is kind of a dark red and black motif. Let's just switch that real quick and show you what that looks like. I'm just going to run this one command real quick here. There you go. So we get that sort of red and black puff there. But again, we're using the same select command to apply that to all of the werewolf tokens at once. And then the final piece to this is playing that Wolf Howl. So the command for that is going to look like this, where we say splay, and then the name of the track that we want to play. So this actually is another thing that you need to do in your jukebox. You need to have the Wolf Howl sound effect. I got mine from Monument Studios. I'm not affiliated with them in any way. I just bought their sound effects and music and I like it. I'll include a link to what I had down below, but you can use any kind of a sound effect here if you want. The Wolf Howl, or maybe a snarl or something like that. If you look around online, you can find a lot of sound effects that would work here. But basically what you want to do is !splay and then the name of the track exactly as it appears in the jukebox, and that will trigger off the howl. So just to test that real quick, we'll copy this and we'll run it. And there you go, you can hear our creepy wolf howl. Okay, so now that we've got all of the pieces here, what we can do is copy all of these, and we can put them into a macro. So let's just create a new macro here, and I'm going to call this Werewolf Assault, and we'll paste in our lines, save that, and I'm going to get Notepad out of the way here. And now all I need to do is click the Werewolf Assault macro. And there we go. We've transformed, we've triggered our special effect, and played the sound. And now, my little warlock Jolo here is about to have a very interesting evening. Now, two last things I do want to mention. If you run the multiTokenFx command, or really any FX command, multiple times one after the other, every now and then it kind of bogs Roll20 down a little bit, and the effects may not fire immediately. If that's the case, just let it sit for a few seconds, and then usually the effects will spawn, everything will get caught up, and you'll be good to go from there. But especially when you're developing or troubleshooting the effects, that can happen. The other thing I want to mention is a big thank you to Timoff for helping me troubleshoot some other issues that I encountered while I was building this macro. Much obliged, Timoff. Really appreciate all the help. So there you have it. That's how you can set up a real quick werewolf attack in Roll20. I want to give a quick shout out of thanks to all my patrons. I really do appreciate all of your support. It means a lot to me. And thank you for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please give it a like and consider subscribing. And until next time, folks, have a great day.